Welcome back to the old chateau. I want to talk about Pokemon investing, but not the financial part. I want to talk about where you spend your time, where you spend your energy, and how beneficial could that be for you as a customer. So let's start with the console, because you can't play any of the Pokemon games without that console legally. So you have to buy the console, which back then it didn't cost a lot of money, but now it does. So you have to buy a console, then you have to buy a game. Now, here's the issue with Pokemon. Financially, depending on what game it is, you have to buy two versions. So now, depending on, doesn't matter actually. So now you have to buy two Pokemon games, technically two consoles. Two Pokemon games, two consoles. Two Pokemon games, two consoles. Until they reached a point where you didn't need it. Arceus. So you have a level of financial investments where before you can even invest into Pokemon, you have to actually put money out there before you can even really sink your teeth into putting in some quality time. Now, after you've invested the financial piece to your enjoyment, now you have the time. I have I have I have 4 Nintendo Switches. I have every Switch Pokemon game except the first one and the last one. And I have played both versions of each game at least. I played the other version at least one time. So I play Sword, I play Diamond, even though my favorite color is red. I play Sword, I play Diamond, and theoretically I would play Violet. But with that said, I have played Pearl one all the way through, and I have played Shield all the way through. But realistically, since about a year and a half ago, I've actually played Brilliant Diamond, Shiny Pearl over 5 times in 1 year. I played Brilliant Diamond, Shiny Pearls 5 times over 5 times in 1 year. I have played, and this is all at the same time, thanks to Pokemon Home. I've actually been able to play Sword and Shield almost 6 times. I know. But I played Sword and Shield almost 6 times. I played BDSP over 5 times. With that said, I have also played Pokemon Go. I played Pokemon Go when it first came out, but it was too easy, and I said, no, I can't do this. And I'm glad that I waited to come back, because I would have been getting abused. We're talking about investing time and energy, specifically into Pokemon Go. I would have been getting abused as a customer. I would have been getting neglected, and I would have been on a binging, tangible waiting game. I'm glad I left for a little while and I came back. And honestly, I'm one of those hermit crabs. Like, I am willing to miss out on purpose, because I know when I come back around, I will get all of what I need. I will get the review, I will get the pieces that I'm looking for, and I will be able to have a merry good time. Now, with that said, specifically with time and energy in Pokemon Go, thanks to Pokemon Home, you're able to, your Pokemon Home is probably the best, worst video game bridge to ever come out of this community. I can play a game on my phone anywhere around the world. And then whenever I go home, I can literally send it into home and put it on a bigger TV. I will put it on a TV screen. And something that I was playing with outside is now in my house, and I'm loving it, unless it's a spider. There are a lot of mobile games that I don't necessarily entertain from the Pokemon community, only because if I want to do that, I can go play the real game, and if I don't want to do that, then I don't have to worry about wasting any memory space or data space. But Pokemon Sleep is the kingpin of Pokemon games. It is Pokemon Snap. It is Pokemon Cafe. It is technically like a Pokemon's Dungeons. It is Pokemon Go. It's literally like 5 different Pokemon games in one, and it's free. Just like Pokemon Go. But with that said, I spend a lot of my free time on these games. And I do so because they're enjoyable. They're enjoyable, and they have a conclusion of benefits at the end. When you're done playing a console game. Now this is strategically having the Pokemon Home as your bridge. But when you're done with a console game, you could put those Pokemon into Home and move them to a different game, which is what I've done for a specific Reddit post. I wanted to hype up the community. I wanted to get people back into the game, because that's why I named this channel the way I did. It's called the Poke Lighthouse. I'm not here to be the center of attention. I'm not here to make my own brand on top of another brand. No. I just want to be the light in the dark, to guide you back to what you enjoyed, to steer you back on the path of enjoyment, of happiness, specifically with whatever you're liking and catering to. The Poke Lighthouse is to represent the recruiting process of having fun. I want you to watch these videos and just go back to the Poke theorists like Drogain. Like Drogain's a really good Poke theorist. Or you could go back to like Poke entertainers like T-Tar. Or you could just relax and watch a couple packs get ripped open from the big dogs. Or you might just want to legitimately maybe you might want to get a laugh from Old Possum Bud. The point of this is that there is so many different things in the community that help you as a customer, player, a fan. It helps you really navigate where when you turn on YouTube for Pokemon content, there is a slew of expansions. So whenever you come to this channel and then whenever you watch something, it's literally just supposed to remind you about what you already know, or it's supposed to at least give you an introduction to something that you're interested in. Like I said, if there are people who specialize in game mechanics, there are people who specialize in mobile game mechanics. There are people who just focus on the lore. There are people who just focus on buying cards. There are people who just focus on collecting cards. There's a lot to do. There's people who just listen to the music. I know a few. Yeah, I spend a lot of my free time just listening to Pokemon music, and that too is quite enjoyable. So when we're talking about investing into Pokemon, there is over 5 different avenues to invest in: Pokemon music, Pokemon animation, Pokemon games, Pokemon cards, and Pokemon merchandise. Not too many companies have that in place, and not too many companies have it in place to where it's enjoyable. So the next time you think, Pokemon investments, what should I know? Or Pokemon investments, what should I do? Honestly, I would be fair to say, trust the big Poketubers, whatever knowledge that they hold dear and niche. Respect it and take it. There are going to be a lot of Poke investors strictly for cards, and they're going to tell you what cards to buy, what cards not to buy. They're going to tell you how well and how bad a card might be specifically doing. You know, these are the same people who like to collect sealed products as well. So if you're looking to get into sealed products, I'd follow those guys, or Poke trainers. And if you want a good quality control on the community, and you're like, bruh, I'm tired of seeing the shenanigans in the community, there's Poke, Poke Radar, Poke, Possum Bud, and or if you want to start a business, like an actual business, there are some Pokemon investment videos about starting a card business, or how to survive in a card business. Like Poke Any, he does a really good job of being open and transparent with the fact that you still have to operate your business correctly, and he shows you how to do it. So when we're talking about Pokemon investments, there's a lot of ways to invest, not just with your money. And when you invest with more than just your money, you are going to actually receive a better, more of a maximum of benefit than if you would have just tried to put your wallet first. Sometimes it's not really about the wallet. And I say that as when I first got back into Pokemon, it was by accident. I went to a friend's house. I started playing BDSP, and I was mind blown because I had no idea what I had been missing out. So I was mind blown. So technically, I think I played BDSP about 8 times in about a year and a half. There's no shame. There's no shame. So I played about 8 times in a year and a half, and in that time, it got me back. It got me back to what I enjoy. It got me back to what I love. I'm smiling more. And I'm saying that as a person who likes goth, likes the horror. Yeah. I smile more now. And I'm not smiling because it just makes me happy, but I'm smiling because I'm in a happy place. I'm in a place where I can enjoy what I love, benefit from what I love, and I can pass it on to my kids because it's not something that is like a negative aspect in the long run. Pokemon is a great tutorial to teach you about reading, research, science, and animal characteristics and about folklore and history. It does. It does a great deal of things if you just take the time and invest. Only you can decide what's worth investing into, and only you can decide how much you're going to invest into it. For me, when it comes to Pokemon, I'm gonna invest my time and my energy first before I spend a dime. I am not buying Scarlet and Violet. I have no more dreams or intuitions about buying Scarlet and Violet because I waited. Like a real person. I waited. I didn't let FOMO try to manipulate the way I make this content. I didn't use FOMO to manipulate the way that I enjoy the product. No. I'm going to enjoy what I enjoy, and I'm going to do it respectfully to myself. So if I feel like that product is not worth investing in, it's okay. Let me ask you, if you're a sneakerhead, let me ask you, do you buy every single Nike that comes out? Every one of them? Every cooking knife, every golf ball, every Toyota car that comes out? No, you're not. So why do you feel like you have to buy every single Pokemon product from a customer, consumer, fan point of view? You don't. You don't. And because you don't, you'll realize that you'll have way more value in not buying into certain things. I spend more time listening to the music. I spend more time playing the games. I spend more time watching and enjoying other people talk about the content and the franchise. And spending my money wise, I only buy Pokemon games and holiday cards. That's it. Now, I might have to buy a couple of different merchandise, but other than that, what am I investing in? I invest my money into the enjoyment of Pokemon. The enjoyment. I'm not worried if my Halloween cards are going to triple in value. I'm not worried if my Christmas cards are going to exceed expectations. Just enjoy it. And in the midst of enjoying it, ask yourself, who else is enjoying it? Once you realize that there's more people enjoying it, it kind of specifically, like, you're selling to sellers and you're buying from buyers. So what are you investing in? I'm the Old Chateau.